Welcome back to Speak Unspoken. This platform was created to give voice to the voiceless. Your voice can become a prison, but telling the truth, even when it hurts, can set you free. Today's episode is the cost of the climb. As mentioned in last week's episode, we discovered generational bloodline inheritance. That particular one was infidelity. Today, I would like to discuss the bloodline inheritance of a hustler. I come from both mom and dad as a hustler. Not realizing that no matter how far away you are from the situation, if it's in your DNA, it's going to come up. I also mentioned we try to figure out the who, what, and the why. But the who, what, and the why is in the DNA. So I want to talk about going down a journey of being a hustler and the climb that it cost me. But through it all, God had grace and mercy on my life. He took me through so many tests so I can give you guys a testimony. So let's get this thing started. I'm rocking by myself today, but it's going to be all right. The cost of the climb. I grew up in a situation which I defined as hood rich, but I also lived in the treacherous part of Southside Fort Worth. Walk into the corner store, you might just see a dead body. You might just get into the corner store, you might just have missed a shootout. So all these things was already around me. And sometimes it is true. You do become a product of your environment. Even not knowing who my dad was, I was a hustler by nature. So at 10 years old, I started doing hair, making $5 a head, doing French rolls and Shirley Temple curls in the front in the microwave. And that was the start of my climb. Was my past pretty? The answer is no. But was my past worth it? The answer is yes. And it made me into the person I am today. Growing up, 10, like I say, I started doing hair. 12 years old is when I met my dad. 14 years old is when I decided I'm going to get me some money. I'm watching everybody else get money. Well, watching men around me get money or whatever. Like I mentioned before, I stole my first piece of drug from my cousin, my oldest boy cousin, and he told me he would tell my dad. But as you all recall, it was no consequences behind that. So 14, I'm hustling. I think I'm doing my thing. I'm going to school. You know, all my friends know. Even at nighttime, I will earn my money because I just want to be the cleanest thing walking. When I pull my stacks out, they got to be straight and they got to be in line and all the faces got to match, right? But that's crazy because those are the things that I did not see, but those are the things that was already being done prior to me even being conceived by both my parents. So that happened. I've always went to school. I never skipped school. I always knew I had an ambitious personality. I'm a go get it by any means necessary. And that's just how I was even growing up. Like, you have to be careful of the names you allow people to put on you. Like I stated before, one of my best friend's sister used to call me Jezebel, and that was the spirit of control. But another identity that I took on was people will always say, one thing about Nene, she gonna go get some money. So as a young girl, I started living up to an identity that I didn't even know that in the long run would have me all over the place mentally, emotionally, just drained trying to live up to what they say about Nene. So by the age of 18, I graduated high school. By this time, me and my friends, we engaging in criminal activity. We doing hot payroll checks. We didn't work not for neither one of these companies, now one of them, but we would go bust checks damn near every day. And it was up until this one day, me and one of my good friends went into a Kroger, and we had been bleeding them. So, after you bleed some for so long, they coming to get you, right? So she in line, she busts her check. And I'm noticing it's taking a long time, but by the time I get up there, I'm realizing, oh, they own to us. So we hurry up. I'm like, come on. So we walk out. The getaway driver, he see us running. So he started driving out, cutting across the parking lot. So we got to catch up with the car and just jump right in. The cost of the climb, right? So now realizing, like, this can cost you your freedom. But we were so used to the grind. We were so used to the hustle. None of that matters. What matters at the end of the night is that we went home with a pocket full of money and we can dress fresh for the club Thursday through Sunday. That's what all mattered at that time. So life transition. I ended up going to beauty school. But one thing about it, I always took pauses in between different things that I did, engaging in criminal activity. So I went to beauty school. I didn't do anything while I was in beauty school, but I was involved with someone that was very, very major in my city. And even in that, like, he would send me across the bridge and just say, drive, right? Not even realizing what I'm driving to and what I'm driving from could have cost me my life. But like I said before, God protect babies and fools. So I guess I still fell in that category back then. So he ended up going to the federal prison. I relocate my life to Houston, Texas. I get to Houston, Texas, trying to navigate this city. Mind you, this is a big city. I'm used to a small town. So I'm navigating. I'm meeting people. I'm enjoying life. And I come to this fork in the road where I could not afford to pay my rent in college. And so I tried to go dance for one night. Obviously, that did not work, right? I set the cost of the climb. So that particular cost did not help with this climb because I realized in that setting, you have to be high or you have to drink. And during that time, I was not doing neither. I was not drinking no alcohol, I was not smoking no weed. I don't smoke weed anyway, but you definitely had to be on something. So I called home, and that's when I discovered, like, I really didn't come from what I thought I came from, right? Being close to a situation, you really don't know the situation until you're far away from it. So when I'm in college, I realized my mother doesn't have the kind of money that I thought she had. So she could not help me with my rent, which was fine. I respect that because that made me turn to different things that I shouldn't have. But at that point, I'm always in survival mode, so I know how to, right? So going to go dance at the club was not for me. So that happened one night. I think I was barely there 2 hours, and I looked at my friend and was like, hey, I can't do this. I got to figure out another way. Another way for me is always having a ram in the bush. I can say God, but I guess God can't bless no mess. But it's always going to be some guy around that can give me a hand up. So I seen this guy. I'm doing hair in the salon, but I work on the barbershop side, and he steady cutting his eye through the mirror at me. So I'm looking. I'm like, now never. That's always been like that. Very risky, very risky. But I told myself, now never. And so he kept looking, and I'm like, what you looking at? And there we have it. In 2005, that's when my cycle in Houston began to exist. So I went to eat with him. I told him my situation. That man did not only pay my rent for that month, he paid my rent for the rest of the year. So I'm going through the motions, trying to figure it out in college or whatever the case may be. Then I link up with some people that I know or whatever, that we were cool. But once I realized what they was doing, I'm trying to middleman the situation. So I began to engage in different criminal activity or whatever the case may be. And so we started moving marijuana at this time. So we moving marijuana at this time. Everything is cool. Then I started hanging with another group of people from up top. And so they get the moving, and I just got to put my 2 cents in, and I just got to fit in, get in where I fit in. I still keeping this mentality. Friend gonna make some money. Friend gonna get some money. I'm still trying to live up to that name. Not realizing I'm killing myself softly. And these people about to come knock on my door. So life keep going. I'm doing it. I'm having it my way. I opened up my first beauty shop in 2007. So 2012, I get a knock at my front door. Mind you, my mom is there because I just had surgery 3 days prior to that. And so when they came, they asked me to step on the porch. And they asked me all these questions. And before I knew it, my whole life flashed before my eyes. And I was on the porch crying. And I'm like, Lord, I cannot leave my mom. It's so crazy. I do all these things. But when it's time to suffer the consequences, I always say, I can't leave my mom. And I still need to understand why I would always say that, right? And so I get a lawyer. I go to do a briefing with them. They left. Never heard from them no more. So I think I'm free and clear. So I team up with some people after that. One thing about it, we always say, God, if you get me out of this, I'm not going to never do that again. We got to stop giving these false hopes and promises to God, because that's not what he's looking for. He's looking for our guess and our obedience to stop doing it completely. Not to stop doing it until I'm out of trouble and everything is fine and go back to the scheduled program. That's not God. That is not what God is telling us to do. So I get that situation kind of dissipates or whatever. So I link up with another group of people, which was from out of town. But this time, we getting double for what we sending, right? So I used to engage different people in certain things, which I shouldn't have. But at the time, like, everybody want to make some money, everybody trying to get ahead. So that's what occurred, right? So then I'm doing this back and forth or whatever. I becomes friends with a lady that's still my friend to this day. And we start engaging in different things or whatever the case may be. So the feds, they off my trail. But the whole time, I'm not knowing. My phones is tapped the whole time. So when they come back in 2014 to subpoena me for grand jury, I had 72 hours to get to up top. I'm like, Lord, what I'm about to do or whatever. Mind you, my secret is out, because when they come to subpoena me, I'm at the shop doing hair, and I'm doing one of my favorite clients' hair. And in that moment, I'm like, I am exposed, because nobody knows what Francesca do. Nobody knows. People know what Nene do, but nobody knows what Francesca do. So I'm exposed. So I'm crying. I'm trying to figure out what can I say to this lady, because they come hand it to me right in front of her. But make a long story short, I go up top, I go before the grand jury, and before I go before the grand jury, my mom had told those people, my daughter is coming back home with me. And that faith walk that she had that day, because I didn't see it no way after hearing myself on a recording. The crazy part about it is, when you're indulgent in these different types of activity, it don't always necessarily have to be you. It could be the people that you're connected to that make them get on you. So even while we're doing different things down in the South, moving back and forth to Alabama, what was going on up top, they wasn't even worrying about what was going on in Alabama. They was worrying about what was going on up top. And I'm like, well, this is what's going on in the present. What you're coming to arrest me for already transpired. That's completely done. But the thing is, they was trying to build a case on other people or whatever the case may be. But make a long story short, when I got in front of grand jury, the prosecutor, she's supposed to be painting a case against me, but she started painting the case as if like I was the victim. And it was saying like, this is a case of a young girl in college, don't really come from anything and just trying to make money and survive. And in that moment, I just kind of like sat down in the chair, back in the chair on the stand. And I said, okay, God, I see what's happening. And after that, I went out, and the federal agent told me I'm free to go. Just don't ever come back to this city anymore. And I was like, okay. Even in that, I kept saying, God, I swear to God, I'm not doing nothing no more. I'm about to live my life. I'm about to do good. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. It still wasn't enough. So like I say, I always take these dry spells. So I go through my little dry spell. Mind you, I always had the barbershop. By this time, I'm starting a trucking company in 2015. So then I started engaging in other things or whatever, which was not drug related, but it was white collar related. And we get money. We get money. And I'm just blinded by the money. They say the first thing to leave you is your eyesight and your ears. Like you don't want to see nothing right and you don't want to hear nothing right. And so that's what left me. But the cost of the climb was not until my mom was in the hospital, March of 2022. And I'll never forget, that's the day I totally surrendered to God and said no more. I watched my mom in that hospital bed from back surgery and could barely move. Mind you, my mom has been sick a lot of times, but prior to that, it affected me, but it didn't. And I realized, yes, she got children here in Fort Worth with her, but no one is really concerned and really coming to see about my mom. And that day I said, Francesca, your mom needs you. Really, she only have you. Yes, she have her other kids. Yes, she has siblings. Yes, she has family. Yes, she has friends. But you are the child that's coming to see about your mama. Just like how they say, God is coming to see about me. I was there to see about my mama. And on that day, I made a decision not to engage in criminal activity, period. Because that's the life that I knew. I loved it. But I had to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, because one thing about God, I did not want my grace and mercy to run out on me. I did not want that for myself. And God could have easily removed his hand and let the trick of the enemy take me out my spot. Mind you, all my friends, pretty much anybody you've ever seen me with on average, they all done federal prison time. But God said it wasn't so for me. So the cost of the climb, God gave me time to get it right. So I didn't have to go through those things. And today I just wanted you guys to know that God will give you time to get it right. And it's a cost in the climb. And the cost is you have to give it up. You got to give it up. You cannot stay in the same spot of doing illegal activities and thinking God gonna bless that mess. Yes, you're gonna make money. Yes, you're gonna travel. Yes, you're gonna have fun. It just gives you freedom to do different things, but it doesn't give you freedom in your soul. It does not give you freedom in your spirit. It does not give you freedom in your body. You'll be going around trying to figure out who looking what for, all these different things, just living a life on edge because you don't know who coming to get you or who out to get you. You don't know that. So this episode was me to just get you guys to understand, like, it's going to cost you to give up something. But in that something, just know that God will sustain you. So in 2022, I made a conscious decision not to do any illegal activities anymore. So I'm pretty much 3 years removed from that, almost 4. But let me tell you the trick of the enemy, right? I'm at my highest height in my barbershop, in my trucking company, my solid investments that I'm doing with different people on real estate. Soon as I decide not to do anything illegal, that's when all hell broke loose. It seemed like everything started going left. And one of my good friends, and I still love him so dearly, we was talking and I was telling him what was going on with my life. And he said, so you just gonna let your account get to zero? See, the old me, I would have bid on that. I would have said, nah, I ain't gonna let my account to get to zero. What's up? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. And I held that phone and I told him, I said, my account not gonna get to zero. And y'all, let me tell y'all, it has been some trying days, some very, very, very trying days. I did a 6-figure investment. Still don't even know when I'm gonna get all my money back. Now, mind you, I did that in 23. I'm still waiting on it. But one thing about God, he will provide. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be obedient. in your walk. You have to be obedient in the climb, because the climb is going to cost you. The climb is going to test you. The climb is going to show you what you're really built from. The climb is going to show you that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. That's what the climb is going to show you. And I just wanted to put that out there today, that it's a cost in the climb, y'all. Like, every day, I know we're trying to figure it out. I know we're trying to do better. I know we're trying to hit our quick licks or whatever, get rich quick licks or whatever the case may be. But when you fully surrender and trust God, you will never go without. When your life kind of go down a little bit, so you probably not out shopping and doing all these things, no. But will you be sustainable and be able to pay everything that God has blessed you with? The answer is yes. And so I just wanted to hop on here today. Just wanted to give wisdom, give knowledge to those that's in between two different lives. Go on and come over here on God's side. I promise you everything is going to work out just fine. If he did it for me, he can do it for you. I lived a highly performance-based life. Highly performance. All I wanted to know, look at me, look at friend doing this, friend, and once I really realized like none of that ain't about nothing, I was able to let it all go. Do it get trying sometimes? I'm not gonna lie to you. The answer is yes sometimes. But then I have a reality check real quick, and God reminds me, I've covered you, and do not fall into the hands of an angry God. Because all my friends done federal prison time, at least majority of them, women and men. And I recall it's been times where I go places and I get a phone call, such and such book, such and such book. They picked them up this morning. And I'm just like, God, you just keep covering me. Even when they came to get me, God, you covered me. You said it ain't so, God. Father God, you has always had your hands on me. And I just want to say thank you. And I pray that someone that's watching this particular episode, that I know it's in your DNA. I know you have the ambition as a hustler. I know you know how to go get it and come back with it. I know you know how to do all that. But at what cost? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I just wanted to say thank you for tuning into this episode. I hope that this blessed you. I hope that you know that you're not the only one. It's people that's out here just like you. It's people that's striving to change just like you, including myself. It's been a long journey and I'm still on that journey. Knowing every month I could go do something else real quick but I'm trusting God in every step of the way. I am trusting him and I'm leaning and dependent on him. The cost of the climb, y'all, is so worth it. Nothing is worth your freedom. Nothing. And I just wanted to hop on here today and tell you guys that, yes, it's in the DNA, but also it's in your DNA that God has created you to live a peaceful life, an abundant life. God put it in you to where you can be able to go tell somebody else, on this day, what used to be a yes for me became a no. And on this day, I seen the hand of God move. Did it move exactly how I wanted it to move? The answer is no. Or is it worth it? The answer is yes. Being free to be able to talk through the screen on you guys, to be able to even meet people in real time. And they tell me, friend, your testimony really changed my life. Like, that means something to me. I might not reach everybody, but I will reach somebody. And I always to remember the cost of the climb, no matter what that climb is. It don't even have to be street life. It don't have to be that. It could be another climb. But just know you have to do it right according to the purpose God has placed within you. So until next time, speak unspoken. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. If you would like your transformational story told on this platform, please email us at story@speakunspokentv.com. Thanks.